Hey, welcome to Frank Factualities, the podcast. My name is Yolanda. Thank you for returning another week. I hope all is well. I hope everyone had or has been having a great week so far. Let's get straight into street talk. What's been going on? Something that has been like boiling my spirit, I guess, is Chris Brown. I've been feeling really bad for Chris Brown lately. It just seems that he has been in the news repeatedly. I think the first thing I saw was he owed taxes, and then they were bringing up the Rihanna thing again. And then recently they said that he wasn't letting black women into the VIP section, and that turned out to be false. The man is very talented, and I think we all keep forgetting that he was introduced to us at a very young age. He was probably 15, maybe, might have been younger than that. I don't remember. Don't quote me on that. And the thing that happened with Rihanna was like 17. And what we've learned from our childhood celebrities is that they're growing up in the world that most of us don't understand. A lot of us don't have that type of money or access or influence or power at that young of an age, and you're going to make mistakes. The difference is he has to make the mistakes on a grand scale so the world sees it. You and I see it. We get to judge, but we have to have grace, because if the world pulled up our 17-year old dirt, not 17 years ago, but the dirt we did at the age of 17, trust me, a lot of us would have these skeletons in our closet. So I definitely don't judge. I think that he should be able to move on with his life and not be reminded of what he did. He already went to court. He already did what the courts asked him to do, and he should be able to redeem himself in that. And if he can't, then you guys argue points that to me sometimes don't coincide with other things that you believe. We say that we shouldn't have a penal system who are just jailing our men and not rehabilitating them. But it's the same concept. If you feel like a jail should rehabilitate someone so that they can come out to be productive citizens, then why don't we let people who have gone through a penal system, who has been given the opportunity to rehabilitate themselves, why aren't we showing these people grace? Because if we can't show Chris Brown grace, matter of fact, he pled guilty. He did his domestic violence, anger management classes or whatever they assigned him to, pay restitution, did community service. He can't go and live a normal life without every 5 years being reminded of what he did. Then there's no hope for our men in the penal system if you can commit a crime at 17 and every time when you get out, even though you're not that person anymore, even though you've learned your lesson, the world is going to constantly remind you that, you was a criminal. You know what you did back then. You know it was wrong, right? It's just ridiculous. I think that we need to be mindful of the things that we say. I think that I've been a little naive, only because I've been every day I'm encountering just teenage minds. And so most of the opinions and most of the ideas and the things that I hear come from teenagers. And yes, I work with adults, but I encounter the teenagers more. My conversations are with them. And so then when I see adults saying some of the things that I hear teenagers say, I'm like, oh wow, these people haven't grown, they haven't evolved, because they sound like their mind hasn't been matured or progressed. I just really don't get it sometimes when I see people be so judgmental about a situation that sometimes is circumstantial, or again, a situation that had happened years ago, and just how, and not just that, but that you can't obviously take a moment and be like, well, what have I done that I know that I could be judged for, that I want people to give me grace and mercy for, that I want people to look past? What have I done? Because we all got that thing. Let's be honest. Everybody has something that they are ashamed of. They're ashamed of because they did it, or they're ashamed because it was a part of something that they were involved with. Either way, we all got something. Some of us got more than others. That's not the point. Treat people, it's cliche, but treat people how you want to be treated. Give people the same mercy and grace as you would want someone to give to you. It ain't that hard, people. It really ain't. And I hate that we feel like we can't change the world. I think we can. The problem is that starts with us. And we don't want to take the hard look in the mirror. We would so much rather tell everybody else how they can change them. We all know that doesn't work, right? But you can work on yourself, and you can change you, and you can encourage other people to change themselves. And if we keep that pattern going, then maybe we can change a world of people by them looking in the mirror and changing things about themselves, right? moving on, let's get into our topic for the day. And let me just go ahead and say, before I get into it, that I don't feel good. So if you hear me sniffing, I got a little drainage going on, you know what I'm saying? It's just not pretty. And so I may sound a little clogged, or maybe I don't, but I know that thing is in the middle of my throat and I just want to, like, you know, do something real quick, but I'm not going to do that. And we just going to work through it and we'll see what happens. But the topic of the day is girl code. Me and my friends, or a friend of mine, was talking the other day, and we were just talking about girl code and what that means to us and what different definitions of that is. And so what we were saying was that there are two types of women. There's a woman who is a girl's girl. It's like, you know, you think of Pink and Purple type of girl, like girl power, who runs the world, Beyonce girl. You know, I'm all for my ladies, building them, empowering them. And it's, you know, all about femininity. That's, to me, a girl's girl. And then you have a boy's girl. That's the girl who, that's my best friend. You know, he's like a brother to me. I'm closer to men than I am women. I get along better with boys than I do girls. You got that type of girl. And then you got some people that teeter the line. You know, one day I might be this, the other day I might be that. But for the most part, there's two types, right? Hey, this is my podcast. You may not agree, but this is my theory. So, and then because of the type of women that you have, the behaviors, the situations will depend on that. And we just going to get into what divides girls in general. When we think about beef and issues that men and women have, if a man has an issue with another man, we know that 90% of the time it's because of money or a woman. But 95% of the time, if a woman got a beef with another woman, it's because of a man. Let's just be honest. And I think that we women don't give ourselves enough, or give other women, I should say, enough grace when it comes to situations that involve other men or another man or your man. It doesn't matter. But when a man is in the situation, we act a little fool. And it breaks my heart, in my DJ Khaled voice, and I know it's weak because I don't have it, but it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart because just an example, in high school, when girls are fighting, I already know what it's about. It's about a man. And even if it isn't about a man that they are sharing or talking to at the same time, it's because somebody told their business about with their boyfriend. I mean, it's a relationship thing. It always is. It always is. It doesn't fail. But what I always notice is that that woman will still talk to, or that girl will still talk to that boy. He never gets the smoke, ever. And if he does, he lies. And of course, it's all about the woman. We had a situation where a girl walked up to another one because she had heard the girl was talking to her boyfriend. Never once asked her. Was just like, you know, I want to fight you because I heard you was talking to my guy. Right. It breaks my heart. Right. And let me tell you why it breaks my heart. Regardless of what type of girl you are, whether you are the girl's girl or you are a guy's girl, we're all human and our hearts and minds typically think the same. And for you to not have the same grace and mercy for another woman in her heart and the space that she's in, when you know you are just as vulnerable and you're in that space, especially when you're dealing with the same man, it's unfortunate because that woman fell for the same lies you falling for at the moment. You know your guy, you know the game he runs, you know how he makes you feel, you know the things that he says, you know the things that he does, you know how he can manipulate a situation. And even if you didn't know it was manipulation and you thought it was true, you know how he made you feel and why you fell in love with him. So if you got another girl, trust me, that girl not talking to that man because she hates you or she hating on you and she try to get, it don't have nothing to do with you. And that's something you got to get out your head. A woman talking to a man that you talk to don't have nothing to do with you. And at the end of the day, that woman owes you no explanation because she wasn't the one that promised you that she would be loyal. She wasn't the one that promised you that you meant the world to her and that she would never cheat on you. That was that man. That man said to you, oh, it's just you. It ain't nobody else. I'm not messing with anybody. He told you that. But then you don't give him that same smoke. He could just be like, my bad. I'm sorry. Even if he admits it, and you're going to be like, okay, because you still want to deal with him, and it makes you feel better about yourself to be angry or want to fight that other girl. But she don't owe you nothing. And let me tell you something. This is coming from a married woman. Let me just go ahead and say that, which I hate to say, but I got a little bit more power than you girlfriends, in that nobody's going to check me if I check a woman about my husband. They understand. But what I'm telling you is that I don't have no beef with no woman. If I was caught in that situation and I had to approach a woman about my husband, I'm not mad at that woman, because why would I be mad about my husband finessing if your man is finessing a woman, he finessed her. That's on him. He ran game. Even if he told her, I don't want to be with you, I'm gonna never leave my girl. I mean, I want to be with you, but I want to be with her too. Or even if he lied, he still finessed the situation. She just fell for it. And again, you did too, because you in a relationship with him. That's not fair for you to feel like it's all on her. And yes, it takes two to tango. But again, that woman owes you absolutely nothing. And you can call her, you can ask her a question, you can get to the bottom of it if you want to. And you know what we gonna say? I mean, if you knew he had a girlfriend, why would you mess with him? Come on. Do we really have to ask that question? Do we really have to ask that? We already know what time it is. He said it wasn't like that with y'all. Come on. We know this. Why do we act so oblivious to things that we already know? Why? Because we already went through it. You know this already. And if you didn't go through it, your homegirl went through it. Your auntie went through it. Your cousin went through it. And y'all done had this conversation 80 times. Ain't nothing changed. We be acting like these same things don't happen. I don't know why. It ain't but so many ways to make a burger. It ain't but so many reasons why a man cheat. Y'all understand what I'm saying? And stop thinking that it's competition with you and another woman, because it's not. Never ever is it a competition between you and another woman. You know why? Because that woman and you, nobody's better. You guys are different. And the reason he's talking to the both of y'all is because y'all both offer something different. It ain't because you better. She got something different than you. And sometimes he might make a choice, but that's because he just likes whatever you got, maybe more so than he liked whatever that other woman got. But it's not a competition, because y'all ain't the same and nobody's better. You're different, which is why he's talking to the both of you, because one of y'all offers something the other one don't, and vice versa. Whatever that is. Whatever that is. Who knows what that is? Only that man knows. And at some point, if he got to make a choice, he'll make the choice that's best for him. But that don't mean that you won. That means that you have a better tolerance than the other woman. What do I mean by that? If you lying on a bed of nails and somebody says, I give you $1 million if who can stay here the longest, it's not because you're smarter than me. It ain't because you look better than me. It's because you tolerated more pain. And that's why you won. You could tolerate a little bit more than me. It's okay. Again, stop thinking that it's a competition or that women are hating. I don't compare myself to another woman, never have. Regardless, no woman should. You should always be confident in who you are and what you bring to the table. And even if your man left you for somebody else, trust me, baby, it wasn't because she was better. It's never that. It's because she offered something different. It was different from what you offered, and he liked that different better. That's okay. We all are different. We claim that whole like, I'm different, ain't nobody like me. You are. But because of that, that's why nobody else can compete. It's not because you're better, just different, right? Just different. And we got to learn that. We got to give each other grace, and we have to be a little bit more compassionate towards one another, because we don't have that same compassion. And I'm not telling you to be best friends with another girl. That's not what I'm telling you. What I'm telling you is to understand, because you done been in her shoes. You have. You've been in her shoes, and she ain't messing with him because he telling her what she wants to hear. He's giving her the same information that he was giving you. And don't be believing that, well, I ain't really want it. Yes, you did. He wanted to talk to her because he wanted to talk to her. Okay. She gave him something. She gave him something he was looking for at the time, and that's okay. And men don't dog that girl either and trash her out because your other woman found out about it. That's so unfair. That's so unfair for you to be like, she ain't nothing to me. I don't really want her. She not this. She was enough for you at the time. And just because you would rather the other person because of what they offered, that don't mean that the other one was trash, because she wasn't, and you know that. If you're going to tell something, just tell the truth. Baby, you're not for me anymore. I needed you at that time, and I appreciate you for what you gave and what you provided. But I want to go, I would rather be with her, and I would rather do this. But I appreciate you for what you gave me at the time when I needed it. That's it. And just the trail off a bit of that. I saw a reel from, I think it's Finessers Only Club is the podcast, and he was talking about leading women on, and he was just saying, yo, I don't lie to a woman. I tell her what it is up front and let her decide whether or not she want to deal with me after that, because she gonna smash regardless. I've been saying that for years. I tell guys that when I talk to them, it's nothing like the truth. And at the end of the day, if a man wants to deal with a woman, whether you cheating on your woman or whether you just single and you just dating women, it's always the best thing to be truthful up front, not later, because that's when it sounds a little suspect. You be up front from day one. Listen, I don't really want a relationship. So if you're trying to get into a relationship, I'm just trying to have fun right now, see what it is. And then when you get glimpse of them, like the man said, she catch feelings, I'm out. If you get glimpse of them catching feelings or doing things that you feel like they think is in a relationship, it's a gentle reminder. It's okay. You know, hey, baby. But you don't have to lie to a woman to kick it. If a woman gonna mess with you, she gonna mess with you regardless. If a woman wants to deal with you, she gonna deal with you regardless. How do I know? You know how many women out here messing with married men? They know that the man married. They're choosing to mess with him for whatever reason. But that man don't have to lie that he ain't married. You ain't got to lie. You can tell that woman you're married and she gonna still deal with you. Now, whether you tell her you're gonna leave your wife or you're not gonna leave your wife, the woman gonna mess with you regardless. And women, let's stop judging other women when we know we got our own indiscretion. Whether you messing with multiple women at a time, men at a time, women, or you messing with a married man, or you are sleeping with somebody's other significant other. If they're not married, they're just in a relationship. But we all got our quirks and the things that we do, and we have no room to judge another woman for the things that they decide to do. But again, because of that, take a moment to think before you start passing judgment on a woman about the things that she's doing, because we have no type of sympathy for other women when we're dealing in that situation. Let me tell you about me. And I'm transparent, and I don't claim to be the person that knows the most. What I can tell you is that what makes I feel like different is that I'm transparent, and I ain't never lied. And I don't care who you are. If you ever dealt with me in your life, I've never, relationship wise, that is, I've never lied. I was straight up from the beginning, and I'll be straight up from the end. I don't have no reason to. And by the way, omitting the truth is lying also. So don't think that because you just ain't say nothing that you didn't lie to that girl, or vice versa, ladies. It's still a lie if you omit the truth. If you know you're in a relationship and you choose not to tell, you're lying to them, because what you probably said was that, no, I ain't seeing nobody. You ain't tell him about the guy that's off and on, that you got waiting, that y'all, he think that y'all just taking a break. That's a lie too. But anyway, so because I'm so transparent, back in the day, me and my homegirl, we were really tight, and we would go, date guys or whatever. And we would have a conversation with each other if she was dating somebody that she no longer was interested in, or I liked them better. It didn't matter. It was never I'm mad at her because she talking to the guy that I was talking to. And it was no need for you to sneak behind, for me to sneak behind her back, or for her to sneak behind my back to talk to the guy that I was talking to, or vice versa. You know what I would notice? I would notice if she liked him or if she didn't, because that's my homegirl. I know her. So if I can feel the vibe, I'm like, you ain't really interested in him, but yo, I like him. Like, I'm really feeling him. We'll have that conversation. She'd be like, well, if you want to talk to him, go right ahead, because I ain't really into him like that. You know what I'm saying? And then if she was into him, I kind of ain't got to ask, because I already know. And then ladies, it's a difference to whether or not that man broke your heart or you broke his. Because if you broke his heart, you don't care. You really don't care if that man move on and who he move on with. But when he done broke your heart, you ain't got that closure you need. Now you care. You care about who he move on with. You care about if you know the person. And let me say this. You don't own exclusive rights to anybody because you used to date them. You can't be mad because they talking to somebody that you done said hi to before. We got to stop that too. Oh, she know I used to talk to him. Me and her used to work together. She know I used to talk to him. So what? So what? Used to is the key word. Used to. Sometimes that be years ago, and we still holding on to I used to talk to them. We used to talk in middle school. We used to date. That been 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 20 years ago. I'm not doing that with y'all. I'm not. It sounds ridiculous, and I need you to hear from me that it sounds ridiculous because you used to talk to somebody. Go ahead and say what it is. You ain't got closure from that situation. You low-key still like that person, and you wish y'all could secretly get back together. That's why you don't want him to talk to nobody you feel like they won something that you never got a chance to get. That's what it is. You see them and you're going to feel like, oh, okay, they living a life that you felt like you could have been living with him. But it's over, and it's been over for a while. There's no need for you to be upset. Let them people live their life. And I know you're thinking, Yolanda, what are you talking about? Because you know you wouldn't like to see that. Nah, not true. My cousin, first cousin, blood cousin, mamas or sisters. I was dating a guy, we was kicking, and it wasn't no like, he bought me jewelry. We went over, we spent some time together. It didn't work out, right? No hard feelings. I had moved on. So then moving along, we say, I don't even know if it was a year, but if it wasn't, it was between 6 months to a year. I get a call from my cousin and she goes, so-and-so is trying to talk to me. And he said that he used to talk to you though. And I'm just trying to figure out like how you feel about that. Again, some real woman stuff. I want y'all to peep that, right? Again, you had a conversation with your homegirl, right? So you say, all right, well, I was like, I don't care. It is what it is. It didn't work out with us. If you want to talk to him and he wants to talk to you, that's fine with me. It is what it is. How I know that my cousin wasn't going to be his soulmate? How I know that they weren't going to, get happily married and have a bunch of kids? It didn't work with us. That's okay. Relationships don't work out. You can't hold people hostage because of your own emotions. You just can't. So I let her move on. It didn't work out with them, and that's okay. She done moved on. He done moved on. Everything is everything. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm not going to hold people hostages. The key is the conversation. And another thing, people, we got to stop lying to ourselves, because that's what actually has you mad. You done lied to yourself and you done told these people you don't care nothing about that man. When people ask you about him, oh, I don't care. I've been stopped talking to him. He just wasn't right for me. Me and him just didn't have it. We didn't have it together, or he wasn't what I expected. He wasn't what I wanted. But then you secretly be texting him when you get lonely, or you secretly be texting her when you want to smash late at night, but you done told everybody else that you don't want to rock with him. And then when you see somebody else talking to them, you feel some type of way. Well, you said you weren't rocking with the man. You said you didn't want that girl. You said that out loud to several people at several times, and then all of a sudden you mad because that person done moved on with somebody. Stop it. You look ridiculous. You look ridiculous because you lied to yourself. And if you wanted that man, then you need to tell him. And you need to be honest with people. You know what? I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I do, and sometimes I feel like I don't. I promise y'all, the truth will set you free. I say that, I mean that. It's so relieving to just be honest, to just say what it is. And sometimes you may think that that's weak. Sometimes people feel like that's putting people in your business. But if you're talking about it with somebody, then why tell a lie? It's not about, okay, I don't want to tell people my business, but if you telling them enough to be like, I don't talk to him no more, then you can tell the truth. To me, that's not telling your business. That's just being open and honest. If you're going to have the dialogue with somebody, then be honest about them if you're having a dialogue. But as women, I just feel like, I don't think we know what a girl code is. And I don't think there is a true line of what a girl code should be. Frankly, the fact of the matter is, and y'all, I can't see, I'm squinching over to see. I done took my glasses off. I don't have my contacts in. I'm around here trying to look at my notes and look at the time, and I can't see a thing. Okay, so I glanced over. So frankly, the fact of the matter is, you gotta figure out who you are as a person and what I look crazy in the screen, y'all, by the way. I'm around here, half glasses on, half glasses off. But you as a person, you really need to take a look at yourself, and you need to realize what's important to you. And I really think you need to be in touch with who you are as a woman. It don't make you a bad one, and it doesn't make you cool because you hang around with guys and because you get along with guys. That's just a lie. You say you don't get along with women because you feel like women hate on you. I just told you no woman really hates on you. Maybe there are some. Again, I said 95%. That leaves that little window for people who are different. There are some people that will sabotage a relationship intentionally. There are people that will call you and say they dealing with a guy and they really not dealing with a guy. But I think y'all know those crazy individuals that, really don't tell the truth or not. But, it's up to you. It's your prerogative to handle things how you want to. I think that first before, and I'm learning this because I'm a hot button, and nothing boils my blood more than a lie. I think that no matter what, that's what gets me over anything. I think if you're going to deal with me, I'm going to be honest with you, and I expect honesty. And if I've set a boundary, which usually is what get people in hot shit with me, and you've crossed that boundary, then yeah, I'm gonna feel upset. And most of the time that boundary is crossed because of a lie. And people say that, you can't handle the truth. That's not true. The truth, when you tell the truth, it's a period at the end of it. When you tell a lie, it's question mark at the end of it. What I mean by that is, if you tell me, were you messing with this girl? This is my question to the guy. He says, well, yes, I was dealing with her. It's been about, 6 months or so. I don't know why. It just happened. I wasn't planning on making anything serious with her, doing anything. It just happened. That was silence for a reason. Because what am I supposed to say after that? I asked the question. He told me the truth. It's a period at the end of that. When you tell the truth, it comes with no questions. You understand what I'm saying? If somebody's telling the truth, they're never afraid of questions. So it's a period at the end when you tell someone the truth. So when somebody asks you something, always be honest. It's a period. When you tell a lie, watch this. We're going to do that same scenario. Hey, were you talking to old girl? Nah, man, it's not like that. Because that's an answer for men. What do you mean it's not like that? She said y'all were talking. Were you talking to the girl? Well, not really, because she was trying to hit me up and I told her I had a girl, but she wasn't. Okay, so when you told her you had a girl, you kept talking to her? Like, how did she even get your number? How did y'all even get to know each other? So if you don't want to deal with the questions, then don't give a statement that's going to require a question back. And usually that's when you tell a lie. Tell the truth, man. Tell the truth. And if you're not willing to tell the truth, then don't do things that you feel like you got to lie about. You understand what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I never, to me, overreacted when somebody told me the truth. If they were honest with me, then I respected the honesty. I cannot stand for nobody to, because if I'm asking the question and 9 times out of 10, it's like you already know, and people can peep when you're lying. The lies come with this like intuition feeling, and we all have it, not just women. Men have it too. Somebody tells you something and you're like, ain't no way. Why? Because lies never make sense. They never make sense. It's just logic. And all of us, most of us have lived long enough to learn when shit just don't make sense. I done cussed 2 times in this. Me not having my contacts in must mean something because I am wilding. But you guys understand what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense, and nobody's crazy, and stop trying to play them like they crazy sometimes when you know that they're asking you the right questions, when you know that they know what's going on, and when they peep stuff. And women, we got to give each other a little bit more mercy and a little bit more grace. You understand what I'm saying? Stop beating a woman up every time because she fell for a man that you happen to fall for as well. Stop thinking that the man is lying and you gonna move. I don't want to talk to her. Forget her, blah, blah, blah. But meanwhile, you just best friends with the man. Y'all all of a sudden just done made up and everything is just fine. That's fine. You can do that. But that don't give you the right to hate the woman because, to be honest with you, she didn't do nothing to you. The man did. He was the one that misled you, not the woman. Come on now. We too old for this. We too old to have these same conversations over and over about the same situation. So women, again, I call on you to give each other grace, give each other mercy, understand human behavior. Because that, to me, is what divides us. We get crazy and we act like it ain't but so many different variations of stuff. If a woman is, and I'm going to say this lastly, and then I'm going to let y'all go. If a woman is approaching you about a man, she is not doing that because she's hating. She is doing that because she's hurt. Understand, I mean that. She's doing that. And why do I know that and you know it too? Because you've done it too. You have been in that same situation. You're not approaching that woman because you hating on her. You approaching her because you hurt. That man hurt you for whatever reason. And so now you're trying to figure out what's going on. I need you to tell me, or I need you to know that he playing games because he didn't ask me to keep this quiet. He asked me to keep it quiet. So I kept it quiet, but now he done hurt me and now I need to figure out what's going on with this. Now, maybe the way you approach it may be right, wrong, or indifferent, but you got to know the purpose behind them approaching you. But we already know this, but we act a little crazy sometimes. So I just came to remind you of that. That's all. And men, stop lying. Just be upfront. We're going to deal with you regardless. We will. I hate to say it, but we are, and we will. But at least you can say you were honest from day one, not later. And don't flip-flop, because that's something y'all like to do too. Well, I told you, but then you retracted it. Then you told them again, then you retracted it. Just be honest. Listen, I don't know what we're doing here. I like it. I just want to keep it going. Not I'm waiting on you. You know, I'm going to give you time for yourself. You know, I'm going to be here. I don't want nobody else. But then I don't want you. Well, come see me. You know, mixed messages. Y'all know what y'all do. I ain't got to break that down to y'all. I'm just here to talk to my ladies for real. I want y'all to have that way of thinking when it comes to us. Because we all we got. I'm just being honest. We all we got. And if we want men to behave different, be more loyal, start marrying more, we got to hold them accountable. But by doing that, we got to hold ourselves accountable, because they can't do it if we don't allow it, right? They can't cheat if we don't allow it. They can't continue to lie and manipulate if we don't allow it. If we continue to call it out and we going to forgive them for everything that they do, then they're going to keep doing it, right? When are we going to hold them accountable? When we're going to say, no, I know you've been lying to that girl. I know that. You won't lie to me. You know, well, let me back this up. You say you going to leave your wife. Y'all on the last string. All right, I said I was going to go, but one more thing. As a married person, you know, and as I told y'all, I don't talk much about marriage, but I do want to say this. I need you women and you men who deal with married people on the side to understand. I'm not saying a married woman or a married man won't leave their spouse. They might, but never because of you. I need you to know that. No man is leaving their woman because of another woman. And no woman is leaving their husband because of another man. They're leaving because they're tired of their spouse. It's something about them that they don't want to deal with anymore that makes them want to leave. Maybe you make it, you know, a little bit, you expedite the situation for them. But they're not going to leave because of you. Never happens. It won't happen. They're leaving because of them, because they can't do it anymore with whatever they got going on within the marriage. So don't believe that. Don't ever believe that he's leaving this woman because he just wants to be with you. And karma, what you reap, what you sow, the universe gives you back what you put out. All that stuff I believe in. Understand, you cannot break someone's heart and think that you gonna happily love on somebody else's. That's not how the universe works. It's just not. You are not gonna blatantly disrespect and hurt someone and then move on and be like, oh, I'm gonna leave you, your wife or your husband, for this person, or I'm gonna move straight in with this person and I'm gonna just love on them and live happily ever after. That's not how it works. You can't be mean and disrespectful and hurt someone and expect that you gonna get loved or be loved or love on someone else. That ain't how it works. You do reap what you sow. The energy you put out is what you're gonna get. And at the end of the day, be kind, be nice, and love on one another. Let's not hurt one another. And that's my time for real, guys. Till next week, I'll holler at you all. Bye.